Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and today we will do what we need to do in the Dead Marshes. So I didn't get the chance to do this on the last episode as I was just wrapping up some things and focusing on the quest at hand. But I would like to take a quick refresher of what this quest is all about, in case you don't remember it. Artamir, son of Ilkamir, has come to the Dead Marshes on an errand, but Galadriel of Lorien fears his presence there may draw unwanted attention to those lands. So this is what Dorthanet would say to you. I am glad you have come to the Keep of the Avor in Beriathan, for with the dawn came messages from afar, and one of these concerns you directly. The Lady of Lorien speaks in cryptic words, but I can discern enough to know that you will be able to interpret her wishes. Lady Galadriel speaks of a Gondorian man on an errand he believes important. It has drawn him to the Dead Marshes by the battle plain of old, and his feet are dogged by servants of the enemy. The Lady of Lorien does not need to express her desire in words for me to know what drives this message. She does not want this Gondorian man to draw the attention of the Orcs to this place. The Avorin keep several fast horses for their personal use, but none so swift as that cared for by our master of horses. Speak to him and ride to the Dead Marshes with all the speed you can muster, and hasten this Gondorian back to his homelands before he causes great harm by his presence there. So, all that we're about to do was initially released after update 14, when we were still in West Gondor, which is a little jarring in my opinion, because as I told you, that time, which was almost 70 episodes ago, or maybe even more, didn't make a lot of sense to grab a horse that will take you from Dol Amroth, basically, to the Marshes, passing by Pelargir, passing by Minas Tirith, the Druadan Forest, the Emin Muil, Los Gilead. I mean, didn't make any sense back then and still doesn't. And that's why I saved this quest line for when we actually came close to the Dead Marshes and makes sense for us to explore the area. And if you ask me, it also makes sense that they wouldn't want to draw the enemy attention to the Dead Marshes now that the host of the West is going to the Southgate. They want to keep Sauron's attention focused on them and away from all the places that Frodo went to, and that included the Morgul Vale, the Pass of Cirith Ungol, and the Dead Marshes. Of course, this may not fit perfectly, because as we're about to see, Denethor has a little part to play in this questline that we're about to see. It kind of fits, maybe doesn't. It's kind of tricky, but it works best like this, in my opinion, and that's why we're doing this today and not before. So let us actually talk to Artamir, and begin.
Hail, stranger! It is good to see a friendly face in this inhospitable land.
I caution you to watch your step, for I would not want to lose you so quickly beneath the mire. We have only just met. I am Artamir, son of Ilkamir, and I call the White City my home. Yeah, me too. Have we met? From where do you come, my friend? No matter your answer, you're far from home in this place, I warrant. Yeah, that's true as well.
I was sent here by Denethor, the ruling steward of Gondor, on an errand of some importance.
But it was entrusted to me in confidence, and I should not speak of it now. I can tell you that it was a great honor to be selected for this errand, and that Denethor chose me personally, even before Faramir, his son. I am certain that a successful end to this endeavor will elevate my stature in the steward's esteem. Maybe not, He's not around anymore. I evaded a number of orcs on the journey here, but it seems some of them have followed me here. If you're as established an adventurer as you seem, perhaps you could do something about these creatures. They seem to be all over the marshes by now, and they endanger my errand. Artamir seems to mean no harm, but his presence here could threaten many fortunes. Did Frodo come this way? If he did, you should seek for a sign of him while you hasten Artamir on his way. Please accept the quest. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Perhaps you could do something about these creatures.
Okay, so there you have it. Of course, Beriathan is gonna help Artamir so he can be away and drive away the orcs from this position, of course. Looking to aid Frodo and not Denethor. But Denethor is the one that commanded this. Right now, I don't remember if we're gonna find out what was Denethor's intent behind all this, but maybe we will. If not, I still have something to say about it. But, of course, Denethor's not around anymore. So this is the reason why this technically doesn't fit, because Denethor is still a part on this. But you could argue that Denethor sent Artamir on this errand, and of course the Dead Marshes are far away from Minas Tirith, so by the time Artamir got here and then came back, well, Denethor's already dead. What can you do about it? So, sorry to tell you this, but you will not be able to rise your esteem on his eyes now because he's dead. That actually reminds me a line from Hamilton, the musical. If you heard, I mean, I'm a big fan, in case you hadn't realized that, but that's when Hamilton says basically, would you like me to take his head out of the basket? I mean, he's referring to King Louis's head, and do whatever you want, I'm super dead. And basically, that would be Denethor's answer right now. Do whatever you want, I'm super dead. Anyway, I think we've taken enough time already. As you see here, the map is not quite big, so we just gotta find some orcs now. You can technically just focus on the main quest in this area with Artamir, but there are some additional quests to have. So we'll be doing those as well. Whatever these orcs are hunting for in the Dead Marshes, it furthers the plans of the enemy. They will have less luck in finding their quarry if there are less of them to search. Defeat a good number of the orcs in the Dead Marshes. Sure. Maybe we can explore around a little bit. There are 2 warbands that we can fight in this place. The vast number of large insects makes any progress difficult and cannot be easy for any other life. Defeat a good number of insects in the Dead Marshes. Let me get floating names back on. A buzzing in the reeds, yeah. Still funny. I mean, we've been doing this for almost 30 episodes now. One-shotting enemies. It's still funny. Still satisfying. It will never not be. Oh, you rescue a crumpled parchment from the orc before the swamp claims it. Cool. Let us actually then go back to Artamir, because maybe he will have another quest. I mean, he will of course have another quest, but maybe we can advance all these quests simultaneously, and we can defeat some extra orcs on our way to Artamir. So we might even be able to finish that one by the time we get back as well. I mean, at this rate, we should definitely have this done. Flowers of Respite. Okay, another daily, well, another landscape quest, I should say. Standing in a small patch of sweet-smelling flowers, you feel refreshed and for a moment at peace. Could there be other such blossoms here in the marsh? Search for other patches of the flowers in the Dead Marshes. Okay. We don't have this marked on the map, of course, because we actually need to go out of our way and find them. And I don't remember where they are, so I hope I will be able to find them without too much trouble. So there's an invisible wall. This was actually the wrong way, but at least we got to find this patch of flowers along the road. So it was not wasted time. But before we explore further down the marshes, let us go back to Artamir and let's see what else he wants us to do. You can make sure that you finish that quest line last, because the last quest in the story involves a session play, so you can basically just save that for later, make sure that you complete everything else. That's how I do it, at least. Works for me. There we go. You have defeated a number of orcs in the Dead Marshes. It's a shame that these orcs don't count for a deed. But it wouldn't make sense if they were used for the deed in West Gondor, for example, because this is not West Gondor. And we haven't got the chance yet, but you will see that the Slayer deeds in the Wastes work very differently from what we're used to. Have we seen that already? No. We'll see that in just a moment, how different the Slayer deeds in the Wastes truly are. So it wouldn't make sense for this to count towards any deed.
You found something. Let me see what you found.
Artamir takes the crumpled parchment from you and unfolds it, but in mere moments he shakes his head. This is written in the speech of the orcs, and no reputable man of Gondor ever studied such words. My father never trusted the written word to begin with. Ilkamir was a man of action and of deeds, and I am no different than my sire. But I can tell you this much, even without knowing the words themselves, this parchment contains orders for the orcs. They have been sent to this very land, much as I have been. But for what purpose? Artamir's brow is creased in thought as he considers what goal the orcs might have within the Dead Marshes, but your worry is deeper than his. Did Frodo come this way? And does the master of the orcs know it?
Explore the swamp, but step with caution. The footing is treacherous.
I am troubled by the presence of the orcs, Beriathan, and I can tell by your expression that you are as well. Have they come here for the same reason that I have? I dare say they have some fell purpose, quite unlike that of the ruling steward. But still I must ask, how many reasons can there be to come to such a miserable land? Perhaps you can find some hint to their objectives by exploring this foul swamp, my friend. There are notable places to be found of a certainty, but you must step carefully. Try searching to the north, northwest, and west of my camp, and you might find some clues to the orc interest here. While you are at it, you might also find the entrance to the orc camp, for I think it likely they have established one. Do not go inside just yet, but we should know where it might be found, wouldn't you say? I will search as well, and meet you back at this place. Walk with caution, I have found the footing to be treacherous. Okay, north, west, and northwest. Okay. Okay, let us just run around a little bit. And let's see what else we can find. Some extra quests, I hope. These are not dailies. The only dailies that you would find in the Dead Marshes are the warbands. And I also want to take a look at them. Let us see if we can find them. Some disturbance has wakened many of the dead spirits within the marshes. They should really be returned to rest. Defeat a good number of fell spirits in the Dead Marshes. Okay, there is a warband on the map now. Sorsur. Is that an orc or is that the other one? I don't remember. One of the warbands in the marshes is an orc. The other one I don't remember. Is this one of the patch of flowers? No, they are just reeds. This is not the vegetation we're looking for. The Lone Hunter. You have caught sight of Sorcerer, a lone orc hunter. His confidence in the marsh alone suggests he's a deadly and accomplished striker. Well, at least he would give you a reputation? No. But he would give you Amrod silver pieces. So there's that at least. You have defeated Sorcerer, the Lone Hunter. You have defeated the Lone Orc Hunter Sorcerer as he crept through the dead marshes in service of the enemy. The Fell Hunter became the prey. But, nope. As you can see, no deed for the Warbands either. I mean, this is such a small area that it doesn't even have its own deed tab. So that explains why. But once again, it would have been great if we could have had something like that. You have defeated a number of spirits in the dead marshes. Thank you. No patch of flowers in here. Ah, they are marked on the map. It's just that I hadn't seen that. Great. That makes things easier. Way easier. Okay. Now, let us check what we got here in this warband box. Marks and power potions, basically. If memory serves me right, this is the moment in which cosmetic pets were added to the game. No, cosmetic pets were added during update 14, the Breaking of Isengard. You could get the horns from the ants. At least that's the first time I was aware there were cosmetic pets to be gained in the game. But God, getting those cosmetic horns was a pain. Was a very random chance after a very long quest line. Wasn't worth it in my opinion. And the trend continued with the warbands in the with the pets in the dead marshes, because they can only drop from the warband boxes, and there is a random chance as well, very small one too. I'm not a big fan of the pets in here either, because they're just frogs, so I don't see the appeal of that. Maybe if you're a completionist, but that's it. What other reason would you have to try and get a frog? I don't know. So this is where they started the trend of well, adding these cosmetic pets with really low chances of dropping, and players were at it. I do remember back in the day, a lot of people were farming these warbands, looking for the frogs, and maybe a swan too. Not sure, but in my opinion, it was not worth the effort. It could be the greatest pet in the game, but it would still not worth the effort of grinding 2 warbands in the dead marshes, especially because to get to the dead marshes, oh my god, you need to do so much traveling. You need to either go to Dol Amroth and then to the Avorin cave and then the horse, or you need to go to the camp of the host and then ride to the entrance of the dead marshes. So just getting there is already bad enough. I mean, time consuming enough. But then looking for the warbands and praying to God you're lucky with the drops? No. Just no. You have found the entrance to your camp as Artamir requested, but maybe he will give us a quest to come to this camp later, so we're not gonna be doing that just yet. Danger in the marshes. Yeah, I missed that one to the north. Ah, come on. Let me grab it really quick. Something that I had forgotten to mention till now is, of course, these, which are the corpses of the dead marshes. At first I thought they were some very strange lilies on the water, but of course they're not. They're the dead of the battle. So we technically shouldn't be swimming in this water. But if I try to find a way through the ground, that would take forever. And it's perfectly said in the books, only Gollum knows the way around this. So I'm glad we don't get any sort of adverse effects if we try to swim, because otherwise I wouldn't know what to do. Below the water surface, the drowned wood seems to beckon with watery tendrils. Yeah, we've already seen that. Frodo, of course, knows too well about it. Alright, that sound that you just heard, that was it's not the title screen, but it's one of those loading screens you get when you boot up the game. That used to play over the Turbine and Warner Brothers logo after the release of the Riders of Rohan expansion, so it's like a hit of nostalgia every time I hear it. If you were around during those days, you would know. I mean, I don't have anything against the Standing Stone Games logo and tune that plays when you open the game, when you launch the game now. It's just a hit of nostalgia, you know, realizing how that sound effect was used. I wouldn't consider this to be... It's like a sound cue, but it's really short. Oh yeah, it brings back memories. Okay, here we have it today. Here's the northwest. Oh, come on. Now, there should be another warband around the western side of the marshes, from what I remember. Let us see if we can find that one. The rocky crack rises out of the swamp, and you feel exposed against the sky. Here we have it. I do want to grab a picture of the marshes, if you don't mind. I've been playing around also with the ambient light setting. It doesn't seem to make any difference in here, but there are some places in which it does. Okay. Let us continue exploring then. Because I think we could get these flower patches on our way to the other locations we need to scout, explore. Very fitting as well. And I also had forgotten to mention this, how we are exploring the dead marshes at night, much like Frodo during his journey. Because as long as Gollum was the guide of the party, they traveled at night. Gollum despised the sun, and he wouldn't go out while the sun was still up in the sky. So they had to wait until the night came down. I think Gollum even evaded the moonlight? Is that right? Bottom line, Frodo traveled through the Dead Marshes at night. And I think it's better fitting we're doing the same right now. Adds to the eeriness of the area. Of course, is still very unsettling in daylight too. Discovered a flower patch. There we go. Let us continue exploring to the west. Gotta find some insects still. One more warband. There is at least one more warband in the marshes. Yeah, the dead of Dagorlad? Oh no. What's this? Beset from the north, beset from the south. They climbed down on us like wolven jaws. We're retreating to the marshes. Pray some host of elves or remain calm. Come soon. Fight, my king. Fight now or all is lost. Death, death, death. A faint candle-like flame gives way to the visage of a deadly spectre. Unconcerned with the living, it voices echoes of the past, a corrupted memory of a long-ago wartime. Approach the strange apparitions. 6 of them. We already have the first one. These are also marked on the map, thank God. So that way, we do need to explore the area, but we don't need to run around looking for the right place. Alright, what do we have here now? The scent of insects is overwhelming as this nest, and you do not want to tarry. I kinda do. Just a little. Yeah, just for this. You have defeated a number of insects in the Dead Marshes. Now I think we can go. Gotta go back to Artamir at his camp. But let us grab the last patch of flowers and let us see if we can get the apparitions along the way. Should be able to get some of those at least. And the warband. Where's that warband supposed to be? Okay. Here we have it. Discovered a flower patch. You have discovered all the flower blossoms in the Dead Marshes. Cool. And we have the warband in here now. Burgoth. I think that's another orc, but this one has ads. That's basically it for him. Let us not tarry. Find him. Fight him. You have encountered Burgoth, a cruel orc captain, driving his squad on a relentless search through the Dead Marshes. So that of course needs to be taken care of. You have defeated the Orc Taskmaster Burgoth. You have defeated the Orc Taskmaster Burgoth and halted his relentless scouring of the Dead Marshes. Alright. Marks and medallions, yeah. Really basic stuff. Now, where do we go? How do we go back to Artamir in his camp? let us try to grab some of these operations. But yeah, that's basically it. Those are the two warbands. If you don't have a strong enough allies, Burgoth might be tricky, especially if you're doing that on level, because you would have realized there are no steeds allowed in the Dead Marshes. No regular steeds, no war steeds, no goats even. Yeah, not even goats. So you have the maneuverability, the worsted will grant you to take care of the bigger sized warbands, especially if you're playing with a class that has not huge DPS numbers. Might be challenging. It was not for us this time, of course, and it wasn't either when I did this on level at release. At least not for me, but once again, some other classes might still have a harder time doing this. Or maybe not, who knows? With the way the class balance has changed over the years, maybe this warband isn't that hard at all. Alright, here we have another one of these lights. What will this operation say? The din of war is like no other. Orcs shrieking, still clanging. Look how they yield before us. We shall pursue them to the black gates. We shall... what? I'm slain in the hour of victory. Oh, whoa. Regret. Shame. Bitter. Regret. Yeah, a lot of people died. Not all of them were able to get to the black gate. And even more of them died after they laid siege to Mordor. We're getting, of course, the version of the ones who didn't make it. All right, now let us grab this operation to the northeast, which, I mean, it seems to be really out of the way from every other quest. So better do this right now, because I think the other operations we might get a chance of finding them as we do some of our other questing on this area. According to the map, we should be able to go through a gap in here somewhere. I don't see how. So it seems we need to find another way through for that operation. Alright, almost there. Of course, Orcish has just respawned right where we need to be. If he gets in our way, of course, we'll fight him once again. Not a big deal. Yeah. Seems he wants a piece of it once again. doesn't stand a chance. It's amazing. Months we have battled, and now the time is come. 550 orcs I've slain this day. Let me kill or be killed, for all of war is death. Death, death, death. Okay, here we go with the third one. Let us go back now to Artamir at his camp. Let us see what he would like us to do now. I think he will ask us to go to the Orc camp. I think. Not sure. Let us go and see. Alright, where to now? Getting kind of lost in here, so yeah, I do need to open my map constantly.
This place does play tricks upon the mind, does it not?
Ah, hello, my friend. You have come back? Artamir blinks at you groggily. He seems to be having some difficulty focusing on your face and often shakes his head as if trying to clear it of a foggy sensation. I am fine, Beriathan. I just... You know, I saw the oddest thing. A treasure just below the water. I could nearly reach it, but then it seemed to be gone. I remember that you were expecting to see me again and I came back to meet you. This place does play tricks on the mind, does it not?
I trust you. I will tell you the nature of my errand in this miserable land.
I trust you, Beriathan. I will tell you the nature of my errand in this miserable land, and perhaps you can better help me accomplish it and then return to my home in triumph. I would give anything for this victory, my friend. The gratitude of the steward would do much for my family's position. Long ago, the peace of Gondor was threatened by Wayne raiders from the east, cruel men who rode down to their enemies in great wheeled chariots. It is said that Ondoher, one of the last of the true line of kings, faced the Wayne riders in battle on the Great Plain but was defeated. No sign was ever found of the king or his force, and Steward Denethor believes that the Wayne riders might have driven him into the dead marshes before he perished. You think it unlikely? I would say so too, but for this. Denethor had of late a dream, in which he beheld the banner of the king flying proudly against the night sky. Could it be the banner of Ondoher, last of the line of kings, descended from an Eldil, an Arion's son? The strange waters of the swamp must have preserved it after all this time, and I must find it and return with it to Minas Tirith. If these orcs have found the king's banner, they might be keeping it in a storage cache in their camp. Return to their camp and search these caches to ensure they have not. Alright, so there we go, the explanation as to why is Artamir doing here, what's he looking for. Or at least that seems to be an explanation, but if you ask me, there's more to it than just that. That's just my own feeling about it. But I do think Artamir is not being fully honest, or Denethor was not fully honest with him. Any case, there's still more to be found in the marshes. That's not the end of the story yet. So now, we need to go to the Orc camp, gather the provisions, so I think maybe we can gather those provisions, exit the camp from the west side, find the other apparitions? Or will we? Will we get another quest to explore that area of the marshes? Maybe we will? Not sure anymore. I don't know. Let us go back to the Orc camp and gather those caches, and then we'll see where to go. A very well hidden entrance, if you ask me, but here we are. Maybe we can avoid some of these fights, just maybe. Yeah, if you don't mind. Kind of easy here. This cache contains a strange sludge, but nothing of interest to you. Yeah, who would be interested in that thing? There we go. That was great. Decimating the camp. Awesome. This cache contains nothing of interest to you. Okay, we'll continue exploring the camp. There we go. Alright, supposed to be around here somewhere. Yeah. Easy. That was great. This cache contains dead reduce of the swamp, but nothing of value. Well, last time I was here with my cappy, it took me so long fighting all those orcs. I'm really relieved we can burn through them as easy as we do today. This is way more fun. This cache contains a number of dead bugs and slime, but nothing else of interest. Okay, well, yeah, we're already here. Let us try and grab those specters, apparitions, or whatever. There is an easy way out of the camping here, and we're really close to some of those apparitions, most of them. Oh, come on. Here's one. That is a horn. On the third sound and we charge. Fear not, brothers, men and elves, allied. We are unstoppable. Go now, fly! I would lead you if I must. I will, Another poor dead soul in here, of course. Oh, he just dies, like that. Okay. Whence came that arrow? It burns! Burns in my side! I will lie here, and here will be my grave. Never go home to Arnor. Never see my kin. The pain, the roar of battle. All dreams, all fates. And that's how you made your end. Really sorry way of dying. Okay, here we have the last one. Those are no birds, they are Orcish arrows. Oh, Elbereth, nowhere to run. But this is death. I never thought. How easy it must be for a man, all doomed to this. How hard, the pain, sweet life, farewell. You have found all the battlefield memories in the dead marshes. That last one was obviously an elf. And let me tell you, even though all men are doomed to die, that doesn't mean it comes easy for them. But yeah, all we can hope is that we will be ready when the time comes, as ready as you can be. You can understand and accept it. I mean, we have a whole life to prepare for it, but for some people it's still not enough. I just hope that I will be able to come to terms with it when my time comes. Who knows? I mean, conversation is getting gloomy enough already, so let us focus on the task at hand, shall we? Let us go back to Artamir. What else will he have us do now? Not sure. We'll see. Okay, hopefully that dot would be enough to dispatch this orc. As I don't want to stop now. He's not worth it. Artamir's gone. His camp is empty. What do we have now in here then? You examine Artamir's bedroll, but it has not been slept in for some time. It is possible the Gondorian man will return, but as you peer into the distance and see the inhospitable swamplands extending to the horizon in all directions, you fear that some trouble has befallen him. There are many threats in this place, from the treacherous terrain to the perching orcs. And any might have claimed the life of poor Artamir. If the Gondorian has blundered into a sinkhole, there is little you could do to save him, but if he has run afoul of orcs, there may be some sign to find. You resolve to defeat orcs in search of such a clue, if clues there are to be found. Supplies? No. Nothing to do with the supplies. The petrol we already have. So defeating orcs we need to do, maybe if we are fast enough we can do this. The orc carried a map of the swamp with one location encircled in blood. Artamir has still not returned to his camp. The bedroll remained undisturbed while you were away. Artamir never returned to his camp. There is nothing else to be done save to travel to the location circled on the Orcish map you recovered. Perhaps a clue to Artamir's fate can be found at that location? Ah, instant trouble.
Artamir has disappeared from his camp. Has he run afoul of some evil in the dead marshes?
Thank you, an instance. That's such a nice... so thoughtful of you. I don't see nothing. We should go back. And go back empty-handed? There's nothing to find. The swamp will have covered everything, anyway. I say we keep at it. Not for long. Let us continue looking for poor Artamir. I have always said you were a fool. I said you are the fool to believe it. What is so foolish about it? I do not see anything that can stop us. Even now the darkness belches forth from the black land. You worry or not, it is the age of the orc. Let all men tremble. Okay, interesting here. What are you talking about? What is it? Keep your distance. The creatures burst and build this in the swamps. We lost some of our boys near one of these a few nights ago. It looks empty to me. Maybe. No. Was not. I think the Nerbik would have attacked the orcs. But I stepped in too soon. You are approaching the location marked on the Orcish Camp. You have arrived at the location on the map, but Artamir is not here. Yeah, but take a look at this. That giant thing and the orcs, all the orcs it killed. Man, that looks disgusting. Yeah. Like a giant cockroach. We don't need that kind of stuff in here. It's already bad enough with the rest of things. There we go! You have found Artamir, but he stares into the water as if entranced and does not notice you. So of course he will not notice us. But we have found you. Oopsie. Whoopsie again. Ah, come on, Artamir. You're not making this easy for me. Anyway, let us talk to him. Yeah, we shouldn't be getting into the water. At all. Climb it. Yeah. Oh, what? What is it? Artamir blinks sleepily and shakes his head. When he speaks, his voice is thick, the words indistinct. Beriathan, is that you? I did not expect to see you so soon, but where am I? How did I come to be here? I must have been dreaming, but I did not sleep. I remember seeing light in the darkness, beckoning. This place is dangerous, Beriathan. We should get out of here, and at once. I am fortunate you found me. It seemed so near. I'm quite alright now, Beriathan. My mind felt as foggy as this place, but it is much clearer now. Let us return to my camp, Beriathan. I am going to abandon this foolhardy errand before it kills me. Glad to hear it.
I cannot thank you enough for the timely rescue.
I peered into the water and really thought I saw... Well, it does not matter now. If Steward Denethor truly did see the banner of the king flying high against the night sky, perhaps it does not tell what he supposed. I think King Ondoher's banner perished in the marshes when the king fell. Do you want to know something curious, Beriathan? King Ondoher was not alone when the Wain Riders of the East drove him to his death. He was accompanied on his final journey by 2 of his sons, and they perished with him, perhaps in these very marshes. The name of these sons were Artamir and, well, Artamir. He laughed wryly. Were it not for your help, Beriathan, I would have met my aunt in the same fetid swamp that claimed my namesake. I will find no honor when I return to the White City without the prize I sought, but I will still have my life, and that is more than enough for Artamir, son of Ilkamir. You have my thanks, and that of my family. I will leave this miserable Marshes at once. Artamir has agreed to leave the dead Marshes. Artamir has agreed to leave the dead Marshes, but as you stare at the Gondorian man supplies, you wonder if Frodo ever did pass this way. If he did, he was much less equipped than Artamir. Your mind wanders as you contemplate his hardships. Did Frodo come this way? Yeah, I know we're hard pressed for time, but I think this is the very last thing we need to do in the Marshes, so I'd much rather finish this now, instead of letting this for the next episode. That would feel anticlimactic to me, because all was building up to this moment. So we better witness it today.
The fetid swamplands stretch in all directions. Did Frodo come this way?
We'll find out soon enough. The swamp is even worse than I thought it would be, Sam. I have found my feet sinking into the mud even on terrain that seems solid, and would have become quite stuck if I hadn't noticed immediately. I know you do not trust Smeagol, but he is the only guide we have. Without his help, could we hope to come to Mordor? I do not think it likely, Sam. We have to trust him, Sam. He has not led us wrong. Yet. Have it says. Have it says. No time for delays. No time for wasting. No reason to stay in nasty swamp says. No reason at all. Come, have it says. Good Smeagol knows the way through the swamp. Step only where he steps, or you will find yourself at the bottom, and no one will help you then. Oh no. If you must go to his black country, only Smeagol can bring you there unseen. Only Smeagol. That is a bad place, yes, a bad place indeed. It would be wiser to turn back, yes it would. But you said you needed to go, and go you will, yes? Calm. Calm. Okay, so we need to carefully walk. We cannot run through this place. Good to know. The air is so heavy here. Oh, this way, I remember it now. Yes, yes. More carefully now. Move as fast as you can through the water or you might sink. This way is slowpokes. Hurry, have it says. Hurry! I finally put my finger on what's been bothering me about the swamp. I have heard no birds at all since we came into the marsh. No birds. They don't fly into these lances, no. If you want snakeses or wormses, you'll find plenty of those. But no crunchable birdses. Call 'em. Call 'em. A way to kill off the mood. How are you holding up, Sam? This is a heartland. It seems so many of the places we must journey through are heartlands. I miss my own comfortable bed and back end. There's nothing for it, is there? We have to keep going, one foot in front of the other. Smeagol will show us the way if we are kind to him. He was treated very cruelly in Mordor, Sam. He has been through a lot. I suppose that is true for all of us now. Just keep going. That is all we can do. Okay, so what now? Step with care, Hobbit says. The ground underfoot is not to be trusted. Oh no, it is not. Smeagol will show you where to go. Stay close, Hobbit says. Oh no, not this way. Don't follow the lights. Do not follow the tricksy lights, Hobbit says. Where is Master? Where is nice Master? Confound it, where has Frodo gone? How do I find him? Okay, through here, it seems. What is it, Sam? Were you calling for me? I felt as if I heard you from a long way off, but there was something. Frodo shakes his head, trying to remember something. There were faces in the water. I could see them. By the light of the candles, I think. But how could that be? There were so many. Good faces and proud faces. Stern faces and evil faces, but why? Okay, I do like this angle a little bit more. Yeah. I am sorry I wandered off. I don't know what came over me. Smeagol, are you alright? I am sorry I left the path. No path can help the master if he follows the little candles. No, no. The marshes are filled with the dead ones, elves and orcs, and men beside them. A great battle happened long ago and the marsh is creeping, always creeping. No more today, Hobbit says, near the rest. Time for sleepies now. Yes, I think that is a good idea. Sam, come sit beside me and we will rest. You sit next to Frodo and resolve to stay awake and alert. You feel so tired. Stay awake, Sam. Your eyes feel so heavy. Yeah, there we go. Smeagol can hurt nice master. Smeagol promised. Then don't hurt the master. He is the master of the precious. But what if we had the precious? What if we were the master? Ah, yes, yes, we could be the master, yes. Too risky here, too risky. I mean, Javi doesn't trust us. No, he doesn't. Yes, too risky, but there is someone who could help us. Help us take the precious, yes. Yes, yes, good idea. Call him. Call him. Nice, Hobbit. Nice, Sam. Nothing to worry about, no, precious. Call him. Call him. Did you get the sleepies you needed? Did you? Call him. We need to be moving again. Yes, yes, we do. No time for delays now. Master says we must go, so go we must, yes. Time to go, precious, time to move. Time to wake up, Master. Time to be going, yes. We need to wake up Frodo? Yeah. Frodo blinks at you for a moment and slowly rouses from his slumber. I suppose it is time to set out again? I am ready to be out of this wretched swamp, and the only way for it is to get moving again, I suppose. I am very tired, Sam. Where to go now? Over here, this way, this way! Sam, hide! No, right in the sky, precious, the sky! Is it gone? Did it see us? Ah, did it see us? Winged wraiths, terrible, terrible! They see everything, precious, everything, and they tell him all that they see, they do. Did it see us? Gollum is shaking, his eyes wide with the terror of the experience. He will not move for some time. That was a Black Rider. I hoped we had seen the last of them, but I suppose that was an idle daydream. They are still searching for us. The ring is so heavy, Sam. I know we need to keep going, but perhaps we can rest for a moment? Smeagol is beside himself. I do not think he will want to move for a while. Look at him. The poor creature. Not just him. All three of us. I will be glad to leave these dead marshes, but just a rest. A short one. Then we will keep moving. Is that alright, Sam? Thank you, dear Sam. A short rest, and then we will keep moving. Alright, that was it. As you see, yeah, I think it was better for us if we did all this in one episode. It flows better that way, in my opinion. Kinda tricky as well because, well, chronologically, this passage through the marshes, of course, takes place before the Pass of Kirithungol, but we got the session play of Kirithungol before this one. That's one of the unintended consequences of the questing path that we chose. But once again, I think it flows better that way. I mean, Beriathan, the host of the West, everybody else don't need to find out what happened to Frodo chronologically. They just need to start getting the pieces together. So it still works, in my opinion. You shake your head to dismiss the troubling thoughts of the hardships Frodo might have faced if his road truly did lead into the Dead Marshes. You are not even certain he came this way, but if he did, at least he likely had the companionship of a good friend to keep him going. The two of them would do their best to remain hidden from the eyes of any enemies, and with luck, they may remain undetected. There is nothing you can do now for Frodo and Sam, but by convincing Artamir to leave the Dead Marshes, you will at least keep the Gondorian man from attracting attention to these lands. May it be enough. May it be enough. Okay, so that seems to be it. Let me just double check really quick. I did not miss any quest here in the Dead Marshes. Insects, apparitions, flower patches, spirits, and orcs. Yeah, we were able to complete every single quest in the Dead Marshes on this one, so a nice little interlude from the regular quest. Once again, it did work. Artamir coming here at the request of Denethor, looking for an explanation for that dream, but if you ask me, Denethor also knows something about Frodo's passage through the Dead Marshes, through the Palantir, and wanted to take part on it somehow. At least, that's the way I see it. But it also makes sense, his dream, referencing a king. It was not King Ondoher, as the dream might have led them to believe. It was Aragorn, of course, coming through the marshes to reclaim his land. We got a little of the story from Ondoher and Artamir, and I think we'll get a little bit more of that through our journey through the Wastes, because we have here Ondoher's Folly, so I think we'll get more of that story later. That, however, will need to come on a future episode. For the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.